r/AskReddit. How do you tell if someone is attracted to you or just being very friendly? Someone tells you years later. They tell you years later after you've moved hours away, and it turns out she never said anything because she thought you had feelings for her other friend who you didn't have feelings for. She was just sexually harassing you in the middle of English class. I was once called into hours for allegedly flirting with an employee, not part of my own team. Her proof: I was always friendly, offered her milk to go with her coffee, and worst of all, once at an after work, I bought a round of drinks for everyone, her included. The head of ours was a bit puzzled about the whole situation and asked her what would she then suggest we do to resolve the situation, and she requested that I would stop being friendly to her and just leave her be. This poor woman just could not accept that I was being friendly. You don't. It's a leap of faith. That's all it is. That's all it is, Miles. A leap of faith. Not bad, kid. Do they ever initiate the friendliness? Responding to someone else's kindness is a lot different than initiating it. But even still, the only sure way to know is to ask. There is a girl that I work with that has asked me to go spend the weekend with her in New York City, so I would assume that she's flirting/interested in me. I mean, she's kinda flirty with everyone. It just seems like it's more so with me. She always makes a point to talk to me when I walk by, and we are always making each other laugh anytime we talk. But I'm afraid of trying to make a move, as since I work with her, and she's way out of my league. Really, with some people you cannot tell. I knew a girl who was super friendly with me. I got interested, and then a few weeks around her I saw this was how she treated every guy. Smiles. Oh, stop it, you. Flirting. I wasn't special here. I moved on. I knew a girl who friendly with everyone. We sat down at a birthday party and talked non-stop for 3 hours. She was friendly with people, but I hadn't seen her do this before. I got her number and called her. We talked until my phone died. Our 10th wedding anniversary was about 6 weeks ago. Our oldest kid turned 7 in a few months. It's not always easy to tell, and I think I'm especially bad at it. For example, here is a story I shared related to this. My sophomore year of high school, I had a couple of classes with this girl I had a crush on. Because teachers loved using alphabetical order there, she and I ended up sitting next to each other in those classes. We start passing notes in those classes, talking about random stuff and being a bit flirty. One day I decide to get the courage to ask if she wanted to go out with me to a movie or something. So I ask her out in one of our notes. She replies saying that she's really sorry, but she doesn't like me in that type of way. I was devastated, of course, but I also liked her as a friend and didn't want to lose that. So I replied saying that was okay and asking if we could just forget I asked and keep things the way they were because class would be so boring without our talks. She said yeah, that was fine, and we stayed note buddies throughout the year. Fast forward to my senior year, I had to repeat algebra because I fucked up really badly my junior year due to some personal issues. I'm in a class with a bunch of people the grade under me, and I get seated next to this girl named Kate that I thought was so pretty. Like with the other girl, we ended up passing notes to each other in class, and I come to find out not only did I find her physically attractive, but she was also a really awesome person with similar interests. I really liked this girl and crushed hard on her throughout the year. I would make her mix CDs that she would tell me she loved, and she even made me one a couple of times. I'd share with her stories I wrote and also art I was working on. The best part of my day was getting to talk with her during homeroom/algebra. But I was scared of even trying to ask her out because of how I misinterpreted things last time, so I never did. Came really close a couple of times, but never did. A year and a half after I graduated, I'm dating a girl from the same class as her who had been a friend of mine for a couple of years. We are hanging out with this other girl who was also in my math class, and she brings up Kate and asks why we never dated. I told her I didn't think she thought of me that way, and she was like, "Are you kidding me? She was so into you." At that time it didn't really matter anymore because I was in a relationship and there was nothing I could do about it, but it did frustrate just how bad I was at reading signals. I mean, I'm still pretty bad at it, but I wish I had at least tried with Kate. When she asked me out, I was skeptical. When we slept together, more likely, but can't be too sure. When we got married, I'm pretty sure she likes me. Now most marriages end in divorce because the guy took marriage as an indicator that a girl liked him. If a girl liked you, she wouldn't marry you, leave you and take all your belongings, children, and your dog. Best thing to do is not get your hopes up and keep looking for signs. Assuming the person is single or trifling, you ask to see that person again in a different context and the negotiation for available time and date is quick and mutually complete. No just friends overtone about it. Thursday at 8, not available, not into you. Thursday at 8, not available, but what about Friday at 9? Else. Look for physicality, proximity, and eye contact when totally unnecessary. Jealousy or defeat. It's subtle when interacting with someone else of the interested person's gender. Caveat all this with me being terrible about noticing it. My wife points this out to me when we are in public. Once I see it, it's obvious, but until then it's a mystery to me. The friendly honest approach has worked for me. You seem really nice. Someone I'd like to go out with, if you'd like that too. If they are already spoken for or disinterested, they'll let you know. Either way, I've noticed that they seem to appreciate the attention if they sense you're being sincere. I've noticed women that have been interested in me have started a random conversation with me, like asking advice about something. If a woman compliments you on something, could be your eyes, or your jacket, or pretty much anything, that might be a clue. Women play with hair or adjust it more, making more than usual eye contact. Also, if you are sitting next to them and their knees are pointing a bit towards you, that is a sign. As well, if they get under a table and start giving you head, also a clue. Could just be Canadian and super polite. There's no good answer to that question. A million different people may give a million different signals / hints / signs that they are or are not interested in you romantically. What I found works for me, and what I think is the kindest least awkward way, both towards yourself and the other person, is to have some sort of consistently positive relationship / repeated interaction with them first, and then, in a light-hearted and friendly way, and without implying any kind of emotional pressure, just ask if they'd like to go on a date with you. Use the word date. If they say yes, congrats. They're into you at least enough to give it a shot and see where it goes. If they say no, for the love of all that is holy, don't take it as a personal insult. It probably isn't. Keep it light-hearted and take the refusal with grace. They aren't into you, and throwing a tantrum over it or trying to pressure them further isn't going to help them be into you whatsoever. As a woman who is very friendly and has had some misunderstandings because of this, here's what I notice is different when I'm flirting versus being friendly. If I'm interested in someone, I will laugh, sort of leaning into them. When I'm not, my laughs are more throw your head back away from whomever I'm talking to. Relatedly, if I'm flirting, I'll find ways to make casual physical contact, like kind of lay my hand on their forearm when laughing, or stand a bit closer so our shoulders touch. If I'm just friendly with a guy, I make very certain not to physically touch anywhere. If I'm making friends with a new guy, I'll very pointedly suggest we do things with a group. If I'm flirting, I'll suggest something that has the potential for us to be alone together. If I'm attracted to a guy, I often find myself posing like, I think, hope. It's subtle, but I'll tilt my head or readjust my hair into positions I know are more flattering. Hope this helps. I'm sure there are other things that I haven't thought of. Apparently you can never quite tell. I go to this store quite often, and one of the cashiers said to me, "We gotta stop meeting like this." Which to me, a guy, means that you want to meet someplace that isn't there at that location. I said this on another post a while back and someone told me, "Oh no, that wasn't a flirt." I say that to customers all the time. And to me, that's a weird thing to say as a casual comment. Maybe I'm wrong, but I wasn't thinking about feeling it out anyway. She's attractive, but I don't wanna date. I know they need to be friendly, and I encounter that all the time. That's a different kind of general friendliness. This I wasn't sure how to take, but I left it alone. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for I upload daily and suggest what subreddit I should cover next. Thank you and happy travels.